What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? I'm back live. I need some people to tap in with me to do some of these entrepreneurial interviews, y'all. I need y'all. I need y'all. I need y'all. If you are an entrepreneur and you want to jump on a live interview with me, we just going it ain't really like shooting the shit, but it's like everybody have a business, right? So people think that just because they're in their business, they cannot help other people if they're not where they want to be at in their business, right? We kind of like get our head down on, oh man, I haven't made $1 million yet, right? But if you making like 100,000, 200, $300,000 in your business, it's somebody that can use the information you have and better their own situation. So you got to get out of your own head and you got to stay real about where other people are, and you can help somebody even if you only this much ahead of them. And that's something that we got to realize, is that somebody can use the information that you have. So today was a very productive day. Not everything went right or the way that I wished it would have went, but today was a very productive day. Make sure my hat's straight, y'all. Like real particular about everything. But today was a very productive day. It don't look like it want to be straight. I don't know, but today was great. Right? When I say great, great, today was a really, really productive day. I got a lot done, and I am excited about tomorrow. So tomorrow, I get some more stuff done. But I read something the other day and it kind of piqued my interest about business and everything. So when I had a minute today, I said, I'm going live, right? Even if this live is 20 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever. I said, today I'm going live. And that's what I did. That's what I did. So um, today's live is all about your thinking, right? We think that um our actions are controlled by everything else and all, but your thinking directly controls your actions because your thinking sets stuff into motion. If you are thinking small, all of your actions will be small. So, right, think about this, right? Think about it, and then I want you to think about it real from a bigger landscape, right? I don't want you to think about it from your knowledge today. I want you to think about it from looking at your future self, right? Let's say 20 years from now, you're just looking at yourself and saying, dang, I could have did that, right? So now let's think back 10 years. Just 10 years. I'm 41 years old. At 31, I was walking into a prison bed, right? And I couldn't really see what my future was. All I knew was that I had two newborns. I had my relationship was in shambles. In fact, it was two relationships in shambles. I was doing way too much. I had way too much going on. And 10 years ago, I could not foresee me doing something like I'm doing today, being able to jump on here, being able to pay all my bills legally, not worry about nobody kicking my door in, and definitely not worrying about the police cuffing me up and taking me away from my family, right? At this point, it is time to um, reflect on that 10 years and say, okay, I came from there and I'm here, right? Those 10 years, I came from there and now I'm here. So now it makes it a little easier to conceptualize how much progress I can make in the next 10 years. But if you only think about lack and what you didn't do over the past 10 years, oh man, I should be way further ahead. I should be this and that, right? So I've done two bits, and people always say, man, you came home and you bounced back. If people didn't know, they wouldn't even realize you did this time, or blah, blah, blah. And people don't understand. And I couldn't really put it into words how my attitude actually created my reality, right? But my attitude was never about lack. Like I didn't do the state time and say, "Oh my God, I'm 9 years older. What am I going to do?" I just worked out, stayed in pretty good shape. Well, right before I went in there, I got fat as hell because I didn't care about shape. I just wanted to enjoy my life. I ate all the ice cream and cookies and cakes and pies I could eat, but for the most part, I stay in pretty good shape. I work out regularly and I handle my business, right? Because I plan on being here a very long time. But if you are not thinking that far ahead, you are not taking care of your body, you are not educating yourself, you are not planning to be a great person in your 50, 60, 70, 80s because you're not looking that far. If you are somebody that parties day in, day out, you somebody that drink heavy, smoke heavy, you can't say that you care about your future self because your future self is going to hate you for the lack of lungs. Your future self is going to hate you for the kidney failure. Your future self is going to hate you for the obesity and everything else that you're giving it by being careless with yourself today. So when you think small, you do small things, right? So let's say I decide I want to lose weight and I decide that, oh, I just want to lose 10 pounds. I just made this goal so small that I feel like I can get down on this goal. That's how small the goal is. Well, I can lose 10 pounds in my sleep. All I got to do is X, Y, Z, right? But let's say I said, well, I want to lose 40 pounds in the same amount of time. So now I'm crash dieting. I'm doing all kind of things to make sure I lose these 40 pounds. I think and control my actions. If you don't realize that, then you end up stuck and you don't understand why you only making minimal progress or you coasting along. So once again, it starts with thinking about the past. So I can think about 20 years ago. 20 years ago, I was a couple years into a bit. I was in some of the best shape of my life. I was doing whatever else. I was you know, okay, y'all. I was like kind of like a rock boss. I'd never try to use that terminology, but it just is what it is. I was kind of like a rock boss, but I did not see myself like this. There were other people who seen it. It was people who were around me was like, dang, Jackpot only 21, 22 years old and Jackpot doing X, Y, and Z. Dang, Jackpot ahead of his time. Jackpot gonna be all right. Jackpot this. So it was a guy named T, and I bumped into T a few years ago at a gas station on Jefferson. But T was about, I had to be like 21. I couldn't have been 22 yet, going on 22. But T was about probably like early 40s. And T had a daughter that was close to my age. She was probably about 20, 21. And I remember one of the guys there. This was a guy who like took pride in being overly too much. Like he thought he was like the extra. I always just been me. I've been cooling. But this particular guy, and I'm not gonna say his name was Silk. But this guy Silk was, he was a guy that thought he had the game. But what I realized was Silk didn't really have a game. What Silk had was, I hate people that regurgitate information to make themselves seem bigger, smarter, or wiser than they really are. And Silk was like one of those type of people. But basically, Silk, I heard Silk like, and Silk was my age. So I heard Silk telling T, yeah, man, you just, your daughter, woo woo. And I was on the phone, but so I couldn't indulge in the conversation. But I heard T tell Silk, you cool, but if I was gonna hook my daughter up with anybody, it'd be Jackpot, right? And I didn't, laugh in Silk face when he said it or whatever. But later on, I talked to T, and I'm a new father. My daughter is turning 11 this week, right? And I didn't understand what what he meant. I'm like, dog, I'm in jail. What you mean you'll hook your daughter up with me? He said, listen, man, this is temporary. This is what T told me about his daughter. He said, Jackpot, this is temporary. I'm in the same position you in. I can't look down on you for being in this position. He said, but your potential is sky high. He said, you don't indulge in the BS that go on around here. You stay about your money and you handle yourself with diplomacy and you carry yourself with a certain type of swag, basically. It may not have been the word swag then, but whatever it was, that's how he handled it, right? And somebody was talking to me about their daughter dating, and I thought about my daughter dating, and I was like, dang, would I want my daughter to date me, right? And that's how you got to think about life. Like, what kind of man am I? Would you allow your daughter to bring yourself home? Like, if she introduced you to your 20-year-old self and said, hey, dad, I just met this guy at the store. This is such and such. I'm thinking about spending my life with him. Would that be somebody that you walk your daughter down the aisle to, right? Would you hand your daughter off to that person? That's how you got to think about life, right? And that's what I'm teaching my boys to be. I want you to be the man that I wouldn't mind your sister marrying. I wouldn't mind handing my daughter off to the sons that I'm trying to raise, right? So in order to think like that, I have to think ahead to say, this is where I want you to be in 10, 15 years, so I can teach you some of the values that you'll need to become that man. If you can't think like that, If you are not thinking ahead, then you are not doing what you're supposed to do. Now, it doesn't mean that you won't have lapses of judgment. It doesn't mean that you can be working out 6 days a week and you still just, oh man, I needed that ice cream today, right? Whatever it is, trust me, I do it. But this is the type of thought process you have to have. If you are a business owner, you have to think, what type of business do I want to run? What type of client do I want to deal with? What type of CEO do I want to be? This is the only way you're going to grow your business. This is the only way that you are going to expand as a person, expand your business, grow your catalog, whatever, your portfolio, whatever it is. This is the best way you're going to do it, right? Because once you think about the future, now you can think about the tools and the education you need and whatever else you need to get to the future. But if you keep thinking small and you thinking, I just need to lose 10 pounds, you're going to do the bare minimum to keep inching along, right? You'll never grow to your full capacity. You'll never reach your fullest potential because you're thinking in small increments, and that's how you grow, because you're only doing just enough to get by. Well, I can just do X, Y, and Z. So what happens when you think bigger? You not only do you cut out the cake, right? This is going to make sense to you. So if you cut out the cake in order to lose the 30 pounds, that's a piece of cake that you would have ate, right? So if you know you want to make $1 million business, you cut out the clients that's going to keep you at 100,000. You cut out the actions that's going to keep you at 100,000. This is why you have to make bigger goals. This is why you have to do bigger. This is why you have to think bigger, right? So if you think, I want to be a millionaire, now you know the conversations that you don't need to have. Now you know the friends that you don't need to have. Now you know the places that you don't need to be. I seen a multimillionaire say, I'm not at the same parties that y'all at. I got way too much to lose. And it made way more sense to me, right? I'm not a multimillionaire, but it made way more sense to me. Right? Some of y'all don't even have the same responsibilities I have. It's some of y'all who feel like, I take care of my kids, right? You say you take care of your kids, but you don't really take care of your kids. You provide the bare minimum, enough to not be a bum, but you don't take care of your kids. My kids are dependent on me. Lily and I do almost everything for our kids, right? So my kids are dependent on me. It's a difference. I don't need to be where you are. I don't need to be involved in certain conversations because they are not what I have in mind to get me to the next level. Y'all got to excuse me. I'm a little hot in here. It's lights everywhere, and I'm in the zone. I got stuff on me, fans on me, but I'm hot. But that's the type of thing that I want people to think about moving forward, right? Where do you want to be in 10 years? Do not limit yourself. Because if you've made any progress in the past 10 years, then you know you can look back and say, well, I never thought I'll be there. Don't ever think I could have did more, because that's going to limit you moving forward. What you think is, this definitely could have been worse, so I know I can do better. It's all about how you frame things. Stop framing things so negative, and then you can think positively, right? If you frame things negatively and you just say, dang, man, such and such a millionaire. Now I should have been doing that. Such and such invested in crypto in 2012. Such and such did this. All that's cute, bro. It's cool. You missed the bus. It's okay. It's okay. It's time to think about what the future thing is. What can you invest in now that's going to give you a high rate of return so you can be great in the future? So what does the next 10 years look like? If you cannot picture yourself in the next 10 years, and you cannot see yourself in a certain car, in a certain house, with a certain woman or a certain man or whatever it is, if you cannot picture that, then you need to stop immediately and get the picture together. Once you get the picture together, how much you want to make, how you want to do it, everything else should fall in line, because it's all mental. When you see most people doing a bunch of nothing, it's because they have not taken the time to get the picture together. They have not pictured themselves healthy, so they do not mind gaining 40, 50 pounds. I looked up, I moved at the beginning of the year, and I said, dang, I done put on 15 pounds that fast. Boom, it was probably like 2 months, like 2, maybe 3 months, put on 15 pounds instantly, change the diet instantly, more consistent in the gym instantly. Boom, I'm taking supplements, whatever it takes. Boom, lost 8 pounds. Boom, in maybe like a month. Boom, it started going down because it's mental. Everything is mental. It's all mental. And the only time that and I found myself lapsing. The only time I found myself lapsing is when I have not taken the time to picture it and really, like, when I say picture it, I'm saying fully picture it. Fully picture it. Don't halfway picture it. I'm saying fully picture it. Fully see it in like fully plan it out in your head. Like fully plan out the neighborhood. You can look at nice homes. That, you know, the vision board type of thing. I'm not necessarily into all of that, but you can do that. Like put your vision board together. This is how I see myself in 10, 15, 20 years. This is how I want to retire. This is what I want to do. And these are the steps that I have to take to get to that reality. Because if not, you are freestyling every day. You waking up every day. You doing whatever you want to do. You get a phone call. Now that phone call have you east to west. Boom, you all over here. You all over there. You have no plans because you have no vision of what your future should look like. Even if you miss, right? If you say you want to make $10 million in the next 10 years and you want to be a multimillionaire and you only make half of that, you still winning. That's all I'm trying to explain to you. Think big, right? Because if you think small, then you actually accomplish the small stuff. Well, I just want to take care of my family. I don't need a new Benz. I'll take a Toyota Corolla. And you get you a Corolla. Now you won, right? You thought Corolla, you got Corolla. Who cares if you think Benz and you get a Jag? It's better than the Corolla, right? That's all. Like, you gotta think bigger, y'all. You got to think bigger. I'm excited. I'm hot as hell, but I'm excited. And I'm telling y'all, think bigger. Stop thinking so small, right? And this is something I had to wrestle with over the past few weeks because I'm doing okay for myself. And I said, dog, that's okay. But think bigger, right? Think bigger. Think colossal big. Think so big that you may slap yourself. Boop, you crazy, right? And then you wake up from the slap and say, you got this. Right? This is what I'm trying to get you to picture. Think bigger. Sometimes the problem is we haven't seen bigger. This is one of the things that I am studying as I prepare for my PhD. This is some of the stuff that I'm actually researching in my PhD, right? So a lot of times we look at stuff and we try to make things fit our lifestyle, our history, our life, our past, whatever. We try to relate to certain things. I'm telling y'all, as a black man that has been through all of the things that I've been through, from foster homes, juveniles, boys homes, substance abuse, from my father who died when I was 5 months from an overdose. My mom was an alcoholic all my life, and she told me quit talking about her on social media. But I got to tell my story. So she literally just told me this like last week. But I love you, mama, but it is what it is. My mama do not drink anymore, but my mama was an alcoholic all of my life until my adulthood. But anyway, I went through so much, right? Early state prison at 18, federal prison at 30, 31, whatever. I don't know. Caught a case at 30, 31. I might have went in 32. I don't remember. It's all good. But I'm saying, to go through everything that I've been through, right? I cannot look at somebody and just say, and they just telling me, I can't go to uh, a speaker that just, you ain't struggled no type of way, and you telling me all you have to do is believe. Like, bro, that's not realistic, right? That's not realistic. Your mindset and my mindset is different, right? So I got a big brother. My big brother, I love him, but my big brother, he ain't been through a lot of the stuff that me and my little brother been through. So my big brother is cool. I don't look at my big brother as nothing but my big brother. Like, so we were talking about an incident and he was talking about walking away from stuff. And this was just last night. And I told my big brother, I said, listen, I don't believe in walking away from situations. I've walked away and been snuck, right? So I don't believe in that. I believe if a threat is within arm's reach of me, I have to neutralize this threat by any means necessary. If it's six of y'all, I need to pick up something. My thought process is different due to my experiences. I'm not saying that your idea of what is right or wrong is right or wrong. I'm saying my idea is different because I have different life experiences. People have to understand that everybody has different life experiences. So our reactions are totally different. Sometimes you can be in your body, you can be emotional, and you can have an emotional reaction. But a lot of times our reactions are different because of our view of life being different due to what we've been through and what we've gone through It could be something we going through now. Like, you could have a bad day and somebody say something that they may have would have said last week when you had a good day and you just don't let it slide. So even in that, I tell everybody, I treat every person like they're having the worst day of their life. When I see you, I say, how you doing, brother? Excuse me, brother. Excuse me, sister. I talk like that because I have to approach every situation like it's the worst situation in the world. And it's not me being fake. It's not me doing, this is how I look at life. I don't know what you're going through today, but I don't want to be the straw that break the camel back. Your mom could have just been hospitalized. They tell them, "Oh, do you need to pull the plug? You just coming out to get a drink at the gas station. So you may open the door and bump me a little bit. I'm not about to be like, nigga, watch what you doing, boy, before I do." You having the worst day of your life. Your son could be on life, anything, bro. And you could be going through anything. So when you bump into me, I'm saying, excuse me, brother. I'm giving you every way out before I do anything crazy or anything it, like jump off. I'm literally apologizing to everybody. To everybody. I'm being the best person I could be because I don't know what you going through. Right? I don't know what you going through. And that's how you have to go through life. Right? But that's what my experience has led me to do. So when you have people that have different experiences, they may feel like F the world. I don't gotta, this nigga bump me, his nose going down. I'm going up top. I'm doing this and that. I can't be mad at that because that's your experience. But when your experience differs too much from mine, and I don't think the results of what your actions will be get the results that I want out of my life, then I go somewhere else. I find somebody else to be my friend. This is what you have to understand. So if you have big dreams and the people around you think you're crazy, he always talking about he about to build it. If the people around you don't feel like, dang, that makes sense, and they trying to help you put that together, then you need to get some new friends. If your friends always belittling your big dreams, you're not doing nothing wrong. Why you have to be the one in the wrong? Because you said you want to be a multimillionaire in 3. Now, if you saying you want to be a multimillionaire in 3 years and you sitting on your ass, it's rightfully so that they looking at you like you crazy. Like, you're not doing nothing. But if you up and you putting in the work and you going to CDL classes and training schools and college, whatever, you just up grinding and you tell somebody, man, I'm trying to hit that. I'm trying to be a multimillionaire in 5 years. And they act like you crazy and they sitting over there with a bottle to their lips and a blunt to their lips and they trying to tell you what you not gonna be, then you gotta be crazy to stay around these people. Cause they'll indebit it. Listen, bro, they gonna drag you down, bro. Some of these people living in quicksand. You gotta let them drown, man. Let them have the quicksand. It's okay. They don't see anything past day to day. They gonna wake up, go get a bottle, go get a blunt, go mess with the same girl that's been cheating on them for 10 years. Go do it. Like, that's cool. Just stay over there. Just stay away from me. I'm telling you, I got no problem with whatever you want to do with your life. Just keep it away from me. Keep it away from me. And that's not too much to ask. So this is the main thing that I want to get across to people, right? This is what I want to get across to people, right? Think big. Do not let your current state or your past state or your past, whatever you went through, limit your thoughts. Think big, or go home. What's wrong with shooting for the moon, y'all? What's wrong with shooting for the moon? I ain't seen the moon yet, but I'm shooting. I'm shooting, y'all. I'm shooting, and if I miss, I still did good. I'm never looking at myself like a failure. Oh my God, I only made 200,000. I wanted to make 250. Yeah, I ain't get to 250. I ain't get to 250. I literally put it in the air. I did all kind of stuff. I had all kind of stuff going on and I didn't make my 250. And I wasn't down because I did better than I did the year before. I'm telling you, I did way better than I did the year before. And I did better this year than I did before. And I still may not make the 250, but I did way better this year than I did last year. So this is what I'm trying to explain to y'all. Just think big. Just think big, man. I'm telling you, I did better this year than I did last year. And God is good. God is great, y'all. I'm telling you, God is so good and so great. I'm not down on it. And it's still a chance. I still got 3 or 4 months that I could make the 250, and I may fall a little short. But I'm telling you, just having a goal got me up every morning. Just having a goal made sure I took care of my business. Just having a goal made sure that I put the work in. So even if I fell short, I developed some good habits to help me reach that goal going forward. That's it. I got new everything, new office equipment. I got an office in my house. I'm in my office in my house. I got new studio equipment, I feel great. And I may fall short of my 250. But next year I won't need new everything. Next year I can invest the $30,000-$40,000 I spent upgrading my life this year, right? I can invest that into making the quarter or the half a meal that I want to make, right? This is what I'm explaining. Even if you miss, you learn a lesson. You learn a lesson. It's okay. I missed, but it's cool. I knew that shot was a little bit to the left. I got to bring it back to the right. It's okay. That shot, it was a little to the left. That don't mean I'm going to quit shooting. I'm bringing it back home. Let's get it. That one rolled off. That one rolled off a little bit. That hit my thumb a little bit, maybe. Maybe it hit that second finger. I usually shoot off that middle one, though. You know what I'm saying? And the jumper butter. If you know me, you know the jumper butter. So anyway, y'all probably seen me. I went live and shot a bunch of shots. You know I do what I do. But anyway, if the shot off a little bit, you make the adjustments. You make the adjustments, y'all. But stop thinking so small. Stop being scared to fail. Stop letting people around you limit your thoughts. They limit stop it. Get around new people. Get around people that's going to make sure you have resources to actually reach your goals. Just handle your business, but stop letting people limit you. Stop letting people tell you what you can't do, and stop talking to yourself in that way. Be great. Even if you fail before, learn the lesson, keep it moving, or you in a world of trouble, y'all. That's it, man. Stop thinking small. I'm going to get up out of here. It's 27 minutes. I said I'd be about 20, but I'm telling y'all, man. Be great. Think big. Be great.